Hi, Tyler at Inner Fidelity here. Today we're going to talk about one of the world's best headphones, the Sennheiser HD 800. About 7 years ago now, I was in Germany and visited the Sennheiser factory, and which was about 4 years prior to the introduction of this headphone, and they were already hard at work on it. They were given the opportunity to, with a clean slate, build the world's best headphone. And Axel Grell and the team of engineers at Sennheiser are one of the very, very few companies in the world where you could ask them to build the world's best headphone and in the end get what you asked for. They've done an absolutely spectacular job on these headphones. This is a full-sized open headphone. It doesn't isolate you from outside noise at all. It costs about $1,500. It has a number of unique features. First, it uses a ring radiator driver, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. The outer basket is made of Leona plastic, which is a type of plastic that's 60% glass filled, which makes it extremely rigid and immune from passing vibration through it from the driver. So it is an extremely rigid assembly here. The ear cushions are very large, and this is an extremely comfortable headphone to wear. And there's a liner piece inside here that can be removed and washed if you by hand if you would like to. The headband is very comfortable headband and nice cushioning, but also built into the headband are a number of special features that are intended to prevent, again, vibration from the drivers from being amplified by the headband. So it has some damping properties, mechanical damping properties to it. It comes with a 8-foot cable, and this cable is terminated in a 1/4-inch jack. There's no mini plug or adapter that come with it. This is not a headphone for portable applications, that's for sure. This is a oxygen-free copper cable. It is removable at the earpieces, and that allows you to put aftermarket cables on there, like this Cardus Clear cable, which I'll talk about again in a moment. I'll go back to this ring radiator driver. It's very important in the performance of this headphone. These headphones, you can see that the driver is angled a little bit in the housing here. And the ring radiator driver basically is a donut-shaped driver with a little V in it that it pumps up and down. I'll put a picture up on the screen and you'll get a better idea of what it looks like. This driver is able to emit a more planar wavefront than a regular domed driver. The domed driver, sound coming out of a domed driver is essentially a spherical section wavefront as it gets to your ear. But this ring radiator driver emits a more flat wavefront, so it comes at your ear flatter. Headphone engineers believe that with a curved wavefront coming to your ear, it gets focused into the ear differently than a planar wavefront approaching your ear, and that causes some changes in character of the sound and inhibits very good imaging. These headphones do image very, very well, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment as well. The other thing about a ring radiator driver is that it's attached to its support with more linear size. In other words, the surface area to attachment ratio is much higher than a regular dome driver, and the geometry is such that it inhibits standing waves on the surface of the diaphragm at high frequencies. One of the things that I saw when I was at the factory were some lasers that were set up to stroboscopically image the surfaces of diaphragms and to observe breakup of the diaphragms. And the engineers, of course, were very, very interested in reducing driver breakup on these headphones and came up with the idea of using a ring radiator. There are ring radiator tweeters also. VIFA makes one, and a couple of the people make these ring radiator tweeters. So this is a technology that's around, but to my knowledge, it's the first time used in a headphone. The sound of these headphones is simply spectacular. The transient response that I see on the square waves and impulse response is extraordinary. The ability of these headphones to project an image in a coherent, airy, open sound is unmatched, or at least in terms of imaging, unmatched in my experience. In terms of imaging, I think it's significantly superior to the Stax SR009, which is which probably is the best sounding headphone in the world, in my opinion. Bass response is excellent. I mean, the response across the board is excellent with these headphones. The one thing I would say, however, is that they are so brutally honest that they can be tiresome to listen to for long periods of time. They are just extremely articulate and will show any flaw of in the recording, which makes them probably the best headphone for audio professional use if you can use an open headphone in your application. Mastering engineers, for example, in quiet rooms could use these headphones and you'd be able to hear anything that's on the recording very, very clearly. If it's there, you'll hear it. These are a fabulous audio instrument. As I said when I started my lab here, they're the first headphones that I got. For audiophiles, they're also a fabulous headphone. A lot of audiophiles use this headphone heavily, but because of its truthfulness, they're quite picky about getting an amplifier to use with them that you can use long term and have really enjoyable listening. In measurements, I did find that there's potentially a little bit of extra stored energy between 6 and 10 kilohertz, and some of the audiophiles out there have found ways to make a small modification to these headphones using a little bit of felt that significantly helps with that problem. And that's this little piece in there, and it's shaped like these pieces right here. And I've been experimenting a lot with this modification over the past few days, and will shortly be posting instructions on how to do this modification on Interfidelity. It'll be my next post, so you'll be able to take a look at that soon. And I'll show you how to make these felt pads for the inside of your Sennheiser HD800s. Audiophiles tend to want to use these with tube amps to lush them up a little bit and to make them sound a little bit smoother. And another thing you can do, although the cables on here are very good for headphone cables, you could get a Cardis Clear headphone cable. This is, I believe, $700 or $800. It's a very, very nice cable, and like most Cardis cables, it's a very smooth sounding cable, and so I like to use it with the Sennheiser HD800 quite a bit. All in all, I not only highly recommend these headphones, but these were really the first headphones to go on my wall of fame. They are my primary reference headphone. I simply wouldn't be without them. If you want to have the best dynamic headphone in the world, I highly recommend them. I think they're absolutely terrific. So thanks, Sennheiser, for having the courage to decide to make the world's best headphone. You've done a fabulous job. All right, we'll see you next time.